Hi everyone. Have you ever noticed something about when you tune your radio to a certain station? Switch on your radio and then you begin to use that big knob, to move the cursor to where you want to go. Maybe you're looking for a Christian radio station. When you find it, sometimes you find there's a part that is clear and there's a part that's not clear. In some radios, maybe the older ones, they had a smaller knob that would fine-tune till you got the voice real clear of whoever is speaking.
The song is A God Like You.
Well, when we are thinking about listening to the voice of God, there is such a thing as not getting it very clearly, or we are not really fine-tuning to what God is saying. Now, there's a class that we're going to be starting very soon, and it's going to be addressing the matter of the believer and hearing God's voice. We're going to ask ourselves a question. Are we actually having our radio on spiritually? Second question, are we tuned to the station where God is speaking, or are we on another station? We are going to ask ourselves, how can we ensure we know the frequency God is speaking on and how to get there? Because sometimes you can hear the voice of God nicely in a certain situation and circumstance, but in another situation, the way He's speaking is a bit differently. And how He's speaking sometimes can vary from spiritual things to natural things to all sorts of confirmations we can get from others who are around us. So because of that, we are going to be addressing all kinds of situations around hearing the voice of God. Some of us, we have been hearing God's voice, we obeyed it for a while, then somewhere our hearing began to become dull. We're going to address that too. What makes us dull to the voice of God? What makes us hear what we thought was God, but actually it wasn't God, and so we went and made a mistake? Does God continue to speak today? Is He speaking to children? Is He speaking to teenagers? Is He speaking to men and women, young and old? Is He speaking in the church corporately? Is He speaking to us when we are in our offices? Is He speaking to us when we are in business, school, wherever we may be in life? Guess what? In this class, we are going to look deeply into this subject, and I believe you're going to get a lot of help. Maybe you think you don't need it, but if you've watched the series that's been going on BudaBoss Super Sunday, you will start to understand that this ministry is from the Holy Spirit to help the end-time generation that will face the highest amount of demonic infiltration in the church and in their lives. We need to be equipped for the last days. So if you love the voice of God, if you want to hear the voice of God, if you want to clarify that it's God's voice you are hearing, well, I have good news for you. Very soon, that is the 23rd of September, as a Sunday afternoon, from 2:30 p.m. to about 5 p.m., I will be teaching about the believer and God's voice. And this is tailor-made for anybody who feels there are certain things that they have to get right in this matter of hearing God's voice. And to be able to register, you will prepare 250 shillings as a registration fee, and then you can call the number 0722 778 997, or you can call 0721 707 870. Once you call, we will be able to ask you for your email address, send you the questionnaire that will help us understand what exactly your need is in this particular class, and also you will later, as the class begins, prepare 150 shillings that will take care of the cost of the notes that we will prepare for you, so that by the time you finish the class, you will have good documentation of what you have learned. Beginning from the first Sunday or second Sunday of November there, once we have finished our class on hearing God's voice, we will start the deliverance class that is tailor-made to help you deal with demonic spirits, curses, and things of that nature in your life. It will be a very intensive teaching class that will be interactive so that it can help every one of us deal with these things that are finding a place in our lives that come from the enemy's camp. I assure you that that class will help you teaching-wise. It will help you to understand about spirits, both good and evil. By the time we are finished with a graduation prayer, I assure you, your life will have improved greatly as far as living a holy life is concerned. So prepare yourself by having at least 500 shillings for registration fee. And secondly, you shall buy the book that is guiding the class called 15 Questions About Your Deliverance at 300 shillings only. So that's a total of about 800 shillings that will help us be of good service to you and provide you with the tools necessary to make sure the enemy has nothing in your life, and whatsoever has not been planted by the Father in your life will be uprooted. We will be meeting at South Sea, Nairobi. That is at the Milele Guest House, where our church, God's Mercy's Tabernacle, meets every Sunday. From 2:30 to 5 p.m. is when the class will be on. We would like you to spread the word to those who may need this type of ministry. May the Lord bless you as you prepare to come. Don't forget, Sunday 23rd of September 2018. Thereafter, you shall be able to enjoy yourself in an interactive session that will be a blessing to you. May the Lord bless you and exalt His name through what happens.